She was trapped for 2 days, hurt badly with a sharp weapon, and then her head was cut off with a sharp knife. Before that, she was raped and tortured in a way no one should ever be. Yet, tragically, her refusal to accept a marriage proposal would ultimately seal her fate. In the heart of Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan, in the upscale neighborhood of Sector F74, tragedy struck on the evening of July 20th, 2021. Noor Mukadam, a 27-year-old woman full of dreams and aspirations, met a fate so horrific that it sent shockwaves across the nation. Born on October 23, 1993, Noor was not just a name, she was a vibrant soul, the daughter of former diplomat Shaukat Mukadam. But her story took a dark turn when she entered a house in her own neighborhood, where unimaginable horrors awaited her. For 2 agonizing days, Noor was held captive within the confines of that house. She suffered unspeakable torture at the hands of her captors, enduring brutal attacks with a knuckle duster that left her battered and broken. And then, in a final act of barbarity, she was mercilessly decapitated with a knife. But the brutality didn't end there. Noor was also subjected to the unspeakable horror of sexual assault, a violation of her dignity that adds another layer of anguish to an already devastating tragedy. Noor's story isn't just about a victim of a crime, it's a stark reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of society. It's a call to action, urging us to confront the systemic issues that allow such atrocities to occur. And above all, it's a plea for justice, for Noor, and for all those whose voices have been silenced by senseless violence. As the investigation unfolded, the spotlight fell on 27-year-old Zahir Jaffer, identified as the primary suspect in the murder. Authorities swiftly took him into custody at the scene of the crime, while the eerie silence of the household belied the horrors that had transpired within its walls. But the web of complicity didn't end there. As investigators delved deeper, they uncovered a startling revelation: Noor had bravely attempted to escape her captors on multiple occasions. Tragically, her efforts were met with resistance from the very people who should have protected her, the household staff, who callously denied her freedom. The chilling truth emerged: this was no crime of passion, but a cold and calculated act of premeditated murder. Jaffer's confession to the police laid bare his sinister intentions. He had planned to kill Noor if she dared to reject his marriage proposal. In the wake of Noor's senseless death, the entire community was left grappling with profound questions about trust, justice, and the inherent vulnerability of the human spirit. And amidst the darkness, a poignant reminder emerged: even in the face of unspeakable tragedy, the resilience of the human spirit endures, and the quest for justice remains unwavering. The timeline of events begins on a seemingly ordinary day, July 7, 2021, when Zahir Jaffer takes a pivotal step, booking a one-way ticket to New York. Little do we know that this decision sets off a chain of events that will ultimately lead to tragedy. As the days pass, the tension mounts. On July 18th, with his departure looming, Jaffer makes arrangements for a taxi to transport him to the airport. But amidst the flurry of preparations, a call is made, one that will change everything. Noor, nestled in the comfort of her home in Islamabad's Naval Anchorage neighborhood, receives a summons from Jaffer. Responding to his beckoning, Noor sets out into the night. At 9:05 p.m., she leaves the familiarity of her surroundings, venturing into the unknown. By 10 p.m., she arrives at Jaffer's residence in Sector F74, unaware of the darkness that awaits her. The clock ticks on, and in the early hours of July 19th, the silence of the night is shattered by the sound of footsteps. At 2:15 a.m., Jaffer emerges from his house, accompanied by a silent Noor. Together they board a waiting taxi, embarking on a journey fraught with uncertainty. But as they traverse the city streets, a sense of foreboding looms overhead. Suddenly, Jaffer's voice breaks the silence, instructing the driver to turn back. The weight of their lateness hangs heavy in the air, a chilling reminder of the events yet to unfold. Throughout the journey, Noor remains silent, her thoughts shrouded in mystery. In contrast, Jaffer's incessant chatter serves as a stark reminder of the darkness lurking beneath the surface. As the taxi returns them to Jaffer's residence at 2:35 a.m., the stage is set for a tragedy that will reverberate far beyond the confines of Islamabad's narrow streets. July 20th, a day etched in tragedy, dawned with the ominous silence of unanswered messages. Noor's father's texts, her mother's pleas, and the worried calls of family friends all met with silence. It was a silent plea for help, a desperate search for a beloved daughter gone missing in the darkness of the night. At 10:43 a.m., a glimmer of hope, a voice recording from Noor to her mother, the contents of which remain veiled in mystery. It was to be her final message, a poignant reminder of a life cut short too soon. But as the clock ticked on, the quiet desperation turned to horror. Between 11 a.m. and 7:30 p.m., Noor's cries went unheard as she endured unimaginable torment at the hands of her captor. In a desperate bid for freedom, she leaped from the balcony, only to be returned to her fate by a security guard, a chilling reminder of the missed opportunity to intervene and save a life. The aftermath revealed a gruesome scene. Noor's decapitated body bore the scars of unspeakable torture, a stark testament to the brutality of her final moments. And during this darkness, a shocking revelation emerged, an audio tape capturing the chilling aftermath of the murder. Instead of calling the authorities, Jaffer's parents reached out to Therapy Works, a counseling center where Jaffer worked. The arrival of Therapy Works staff only added to the chaos, with one member injured in a futile attempt to confront the perpetrator. As the truth unfolds, it becomes painfully clear that Noor's death was not just a solitary act of violence but a failure of the systems meant to protect her. In the silence of unanswered messages and the chaos of misplaced priorities, a family's worst nightmare became a chilling reality. In the heart of a complex narrative lies the figure of Zahir Zakir Jaffer, a dual Pakistani-American citizen born into privilege as the son of wealthy businessman Zakir Jaffer and Azmat Adamji. His counterpart, Noor's father, Shaukat Mukadam, stands as a figure of distinction, having served Pakistan as an ambassador. Yet, amidst their differing backgrounds, the families share a connection, a bond that now serves as a haunting backdrop to the unfolding tragedy. As the investigation unfolds, the focus shifts to swift action. A first information report is lodged against Jaffer under Section 302 of the Pakistan Penal Code, leading to his immediate arrest at the scene. But the web of complicity doesn't end there. 4 days later, Jaffer's parents and household staff find themselves in custody, suspected of playing a role in the crime. Even Therapy Works, the counseling center where Jaffer worked, comes under scrutiny as authorities delve into its potential involvement in the events leading up to the murder. The discovery that data retrieved from Jaffer's phone points to past instances of violence against women casts a chilling shadow over the unfolding saga. Recognizing the looming threat of Jaffer fleeing the country, the government takes decisive action, placing his name on the Provincial National Identification List, Penal and Exit Control List. Then came a breakthrough, a pivotal moment in the pursuit of justice. On August 15, 2021, police confirmed Jaffer's direct involvement in the murder by matching fingerprints and DNA. It's a small step forward in the quest for closure, offering a glimmer of hope to a grieving family and a nation grappling with the aftermath of a senseless tragedy. On February 24, 2022, the final chapter of this harrowing saga was penned by Additional Session Judge Ada Rabbani. In a landmark judgment that echoed across the nation, Zahir Jaffer was handed down the ultimate punishment, a death sentence for murder. Additionally, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the heinous crime of rape, marking a decisive moment in the pursuit of justice. But the web of accountability didn't end with Jaffer alone. Mohammed Iftikhar and Mohammed Jan, the watchman and gardener implicated in abetting the crime, were sentenced to 10 years behind bars, a sobering reminder of the consequences of complicity in the face of evil. In a courtroom charged with emotion and anticipation, the defense's argument of mental disorder as grounds for acquittal fell on deaf ears. The court resolutely dismissed these claims, affirming that justice would be served without compromise. Yet, amidst the verdicts, there were moments of clarity and closure. Zahir's parents, the cook Jamil, and the Therapy Works employees were acquitted as the court found no evidence to support their involvement in the tragedy. It was a testament to the delicate balance of seeking truth and preserving innocence, even in the wake of unfathomable loss. As the gavel fell and the echoes of the judgment reverberated, a nation paused to reflect, a somber reminder of the fragility of life, the weight of justice, and the enduring resilience of the human spirit in the face of darkness. After the first judgment, everyone appealed to change what happened. Noor's dad wanted tougher punishments for Zahir Jaffer, Mohammed Iftikhar, and Mohammed Jan. But Zahir, Iftikhar, and Jan wanted their sentences to be less severe. On September 14, 2022, all these appeals went to the Islamabad High Court. Two judges, Justice Amir Farouk and Justice Sardar Ijaz Ishaq, listened carefully to what everyone had to say. Then, on March 13, 2023, the High Court decided. Zahir, Iftikhar, and Jan's sentences stayed the same, but Zahir's punishment for hurting Noor got worse. He was given a death sentence instead of life in prison, and the others who were let off the hook before stayed free. But Zahir didn't give up. On April 12, 2023, he went to the Supreme Court of Pakistan, hoping to change what the High Court said. He had 23 reasons why he thought the decision was wrong. And so, the legal battle continued, leaving everyone wondering what would happen next in this heartbreaking story of loss and justice. Noor Mukadam's murder shook Pakistan to its core, leaving hearts heavy and eyes brimming with tears. The brutality of her death sparked an outpouring of grief and anger as people demanded justice for the innocent soul whose life was cruelly taken away. In this tragedy, Prime Minister Imran Khan's directive to the police echoed the collective outcry for justice. His words were a beacon of hope in a sea of despair, promising that no stone would be left unturned in the pursuit of truth and accountability. As the hashtag #JusticeForNoor flooded social media feeds, it was a poignant reminder of the pain and sorrow felt by countless souls across the nation. Celebrities and ordinary citizens alike shared their heartfelt condolences, their voices trembling with emotion as they stood in solidarity with Noor's grieving family. Even beyond Pakistan's borders, the diaspora felt the weight of loss, coming together in distant lands to mourn a life taken too soon. But amidst the tears and sorrow, there lingered a haunting question: would Noor's story have captured the world's attention if she hadn't been born into privilege? It was a painful realization that, in a world rife with inequality, justice is often a privilege reserved for the few. Yet in the depths of despair, there flickered a glimmer of hope, a hope that Noor's untimely death would catalyze change, a rallying cry for a more just and equitable society. In the face of tragedy, it is our shared humanity that binds us together, propelling us forward in the pursuit of a brighter tomorrow. In the wake of Noor Mukadam's tragic death, emotions ran high as people looked for answers and justice. Amidst the turmoil, the Jaffer family bravely stepped forward, expressing their deepest sympathies to Noor's family and condemning the horrific actions of their relative, Zahir. Their heartfelt words resonated with a sense of sorrow and a commitment to seeing justice served. Joining in this chorus of empathy, Zahir's maternal relatives, the Adamji family, also spoke out. With heavy hearts, they distanced themselves from Zahir's actions, emphasizing their support for the legal process to unfold and ensure justice for Noor. Noor's story became a symbol of a larger issue: violence against women in Pakistan. From the halls of parliament to grassroots campaigns like the Women's March, there's a growing call for systemic change to address these injustices and protect survivors. Even as the legal process unfolded, the U.S. Embassy in Islamabad reminded us of the limits of diplomacy in such matters. While they stood ready to assist American citizens, they couldn't interfere in the legal proceedings or alter the course of justice. In the face of tragedy, these voices of compassion and solidarity remind us of our shared humanity and the importance of standing together in the pursuit of justice for all. As we come to the end of Noor Mukadam's story, it's impossible not to feel the weight of emotion that this tragedy carries. No woman deserves to endure such unspeakable violence, and yet Noor's story is a painful reminder of the challenges women face in our society. But along with the sorrow, let us find strength in our collective determination to make things better. Let us honor Noor's memory by committing ourselves to creating a world where every woman is valued, respected, and protected from harm. Just stay tuned as we bring you cases from all over the globe, shedding light on important stories. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with more.